Okay, so it looks more like chocolate milk to me than what my daughter used to call five hit when she was about seven. One day we were driving along and she says, "Why did somebody write five hit on that wall?" So that's been sort of like with us ever since, and she's a lot older than seven now. But anyway, yeah, this was a horrible, horrible session. And the whole point is, of course, to keep going, to use the bankroll to protect itself and to protect the growing pile of winnings. Lots of stress here, lots of discomfort, a huge house advantage against us, somewhere around 25 to 30% in the end. And, we came out of it. Now, lots of people are going to say what lots of people are inclined to say, which is, yeah, well, that's proof, isn't it? That this is a crap strategy and you can't win in the end and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, we've got the likes of Dana White saying that he can easily bet 400,000 a hand, 350,000 a hand, whatever, depending whether he's at Caesars or Bellagio, and he can win he can win or lose 8 million in a single session. All sorts of absolute bloody BS like that, but he's certainly spreading himself all over YouTube. I don't know what that's about, but hey, it's a free country, it's a free world, so good luck to him. Yeah, just stick with me through this session, and you'll see some real five hit flying, but we came out of it in the end with a modest profit of about, I think it was just under 25,000 in just under 25 minutes. So I got to tell you, pretty happy with that. All right, so here's where we stand with sessions right now. Today is the 11th of December, and I know I should have developed a much thicker skin by now after 30 odd years of being abused by idiots. But it still irks me when some ignorant prat with absolutely no proof whatsoever, no intelligent remark to make, accuses me of manipulating or faking or fiddling with or somehow using this sim or any other sim or indeed any other source of verifiable data to support pattern betting, and they just come out of the woodwork every so often like bloody cockroaches or whatever. And if there was some constructive criticism in these comments, I'd feel much better about it, but there never is, because these people just don't have the brains to stand up to facts. And it's funny because before this popped up, it takes Baccarat WinPro a while to generate the session summary, and I was watching a thing about the current esteemed, widely beloved president of the United States. Apparently, how he denies saying things that are actually on tape, and his followers deny that he ever said what he said. And then he completely messes things up for everybody, including himself, by later saying, yeah, I said that. And that's not quite the same as what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is the truth will always come out. It always does. It always will. Even with people like Trump working very hard to suppress the truth, to twist it, distort it, pollute it, undermine it, disdain it. It always comes out in the end. And I'm not in the same league, obviously, as the people who are running the United States of America and threatening the entire world with a new war. But what can I say? Anywho, now is the time to start a new session. So I'm going to do that. I actually remembered to update the session. I have to add a new session every day. I have to put a date in every day. So here we go. And for the arseholes out there, the idiots, the trolls, a reminder. I have no knowledge of what's coming next on this sim or any other. I have no knowledge of what people like. I mean, the last blackjack player that I tracked was Raja, who's a bloody sight better than John Sirasani, but nonetheless is not as good as he could be. And he's a slot player. And we all know slots are for idiots, slots are for suckers, unless you happen to have a big fat check coming in from Moogle at the end of the day. It's just dangerous nonsense. But his blackjack play is, well, it's not play, is it? It's betting. Is not that bad, certainly compared to John Sirasani. But he lost when he didn't need to. And pattern betting didn't exactly trounce the same outcomes, but it did avoid losing at least. And there's a big chunk of change hanging for next time that Raja sits down at a blackjack table, and I will demonstrate a very quick turnaround. But that's what I can always do, and it's a shame that I don't get more people to watch what I'm doing. But there's nothing I can do about that. I'll just keep on putting up the content, the proof, the demos, and eventually, I suppose, I'll either go under because I've popped my clogs, or I'll just keep battling until I develop an audience. Something's going to happen. Eventually. Double for the loss. 1, 2. We are actually now in the danger zone, but we aren't at the right bet value yet. 3, 4. There we go. Yeah, you don't run away at 5 behind until your bet is at least $1,000. What the hell was that? Did I lose again? Oh, no. 1, 2. Oh, damn it. It's quite often it just does not take when I click on it. All right, back to the min. Repeat. 51. 2, 3. Uh-oh. 5, 6. There it is. See, and we're 8 behind right now, but we have a shoe balance of 700. I mean, it is, and all those idiots out there who keep saying, no, you can't possibly win more when you win than you lose when you lose. Can't be done unless you're cheating. Bloody fools. 2, 3. Back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Uh-oh. Looking bad. 3. Look, now we're 11 behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, all right. Back to the min. Being behind is no problem until the bets get big. And there are lots of people who would say, okay, you should stick it out because if there's that imbalance, then this is going to happen. And so I'm not interested in any of that nonsense. All I care about is the ebb and the flow, the ping and the pong, the zig and the zag. Where am I now? Okay, 1, 2. There it is again. And we're 11 behind. +1. +1. +1. Plus max. I will not go higher than 5 units. You can do what you want. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Oh, okay, back to the min. Should have stuck it out, shouldn't I? 51. 2, 3. We're still 7 behind. 5, 6. We're getting close to runaway time. 5, 6. 11-6, and we are gone. So the next bet is going to be 3-2 in 500s on player. And I don't want to go to blackjack, but I will if I have to. 3-2. 5-4. 5-4, 5-6 now, then, isn't it? Okay, so that's got to be 6-7, and then we're going to be out of this one too. 13, 15. I am not going to go to banker. I just don't like the idea. This is a heavy duty one. There's no doubt about that. But remember, you'd gag not because you think you're going to end up in a better place, but just to give you a breather. So what did I say? 13, 15. Shit, that's big, isn't it? Could be blackjack. Ugh. 28, 30. We haven't been this high in a long time. Ah! Okay, so that's 58, 60. I can't do that, right? So I have to stop here. Finally being driven to, this is 170 shoes, I think, being driven to blackjack. And now I've forgotten what the bloody bet is. It's 58.60, isn't it? So I'm just going to go over here to double check. $58.60. I think it's going to have to be 60.60. Okay. Give me a break for a moment. I'm going to have to pause while I get everything set up for blackjack. I think it's going to have to be 60.60. And the drop will be 15. Okay, so before I switch over to blackjack, this is how things are on the front page right now. We're 56,000 up shit creek. It's going to be 60.60 when we go to blackjack, with the drop bet being 1,500. And hey, this could be the nasty 170 shoes in, but maybe it won't be. We don't know, do we? I mean, like, we've been really up against it. But that's what we're here for. That's the whole object of pattern betting. So again, I'm off. All right. So when we do a crossover like this, obviously it opens things up a bit more than I would like, but that's a small price to pay, I think. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So it's 60, 60, 15 is the drop. Okay, 75, 60. Bloody hell. 90, 60. We're not doing very well today, are we? 90, 60. So now we're back to 75. Damn. And I can't I can't double that. See, this is where it's very frustrating. This is where a sim is not the same as a casino. If you have the kind of bankroll behind you that I've developed, during the course of all this play, simulated, funny money, I get that. I completely understand it. But anybody who says that sims are not the same as the real thing has basically not done any research of their own. They just don't know what they're talking about. But the problem for me now is this should be a turnaround double down. I can't do that. So I have to hit it, see, because of this. Bugger. Okay, now what is 75.60, right? Good thing I didn't double down, isn't it? 135. Well, that should be 135, 120. If I was in a real casino, I would just simply go somewhere I could make the next bet. But now I can't do that. I can't. I've got to go to another session so that I can bet the 100,000. So bear with me. I'm not even sure where I am right now, but I think it's 135, 100. Just can't do anything, can I? 235. I'm just going to have to keep going. Frustrating though that may be. So we're on 235, 100. This is not ideal because this is not real, but 235. 135, 100. 235, 100. 335, 100. Damnation. This is kind of pointless in a way. So it's 335, 100. And the drop, the best I can do for the drop is 70. 335, 100, drop 70. That's a bugger, isn't it? 335, 70 got us 105, so that's 230, and we're back to the 100. $130. $30. So the bet now has to be 50, I think, because otherwise it's just not worth the bother, isn't it? So it's 30.50 for the turnaround. That was so close. 30.50, 81. And there we are. We just turned around. But, let me stress, this is a difficult situation for me to be in, simply because as soon as you get to a point where you can't make the bet that you need to make in order to get out of trouble, you're stuck. In real play, in real life, in Nevada or in Macau or in wherever you happen to be playing, so long as it's a decent casino with a high roller, blah, 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 you can do it. You can get away with it. But this is good for me because I've had a few sessions in the past where the final blackjack win has been so enormous that it just completely blows away what went before. But now what I can't remember, because I haven't been keeping track, is how many times we've had to reset. So I won't know that until I play back this video. But what I'm looking at here right now is 455,000, right? Which means that we've made 355,000 here. I don't think that we're behind still, but I'll need to double check, and then if I'm wrong, I'll come back and add the turnaround. I was stupid because I should have, but it's difficult because I know that in reality, if I'm not restricted by Sims, I can get out of pretty much any trouble that comes at me because we are so far behind in terms of losses to wins this time that it's like unreal. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But here we go. This is just how it is. We were about 60,000 behind at Baccarat. So I think we've turned around, but I'm not certain. I'm very sorry about that. My mistake. So I'm going to stop this and then I'll add to it if I have to. Okay, all you patient people out there, we made a little bit of money. We turned around. I have not yet been able to count the number of wins and the number of losses, but I do know that we had our butts kicked to kingdom come in terms of the house edge against us. So here's how it is. We've got 455,000 here, right? Plus 25,000 that we left behind in one of the shoes that we had to abandon because we couldn't make another bet, okay? So that's 480,000. We owe markers of 400,000 here at Blackjack. So that leaves us with 80,000. And we left Baccarat with markers, with a negative of certainly less than 80,000. So we came out with a profit, but it wasn't much fun, that's for sure. And the message here basically is that what I've been able to do here, not that I enjoyed any of it, but what I've been able to do here is demonstrate once again the absolute foolishness of being in a situation where you can't make the bet that the strategy requires you to make, okay? We had one situation where if we'd made the double down, we would have been in terrible trouble because we would have lost it. So that was the sort of 60,000 that I couldn't double down. There was 25,000 because there was only 25,000 left in the kitty. So we abandoned that shoe. We moved on to new shoe number 3, okay? So there's the first one, and then a redo 1, a redo 2, so that's 400,000. We've got 355,000 here. Sorry, 480,000 less 480,000 is our profit from Blackjack. And then we apply that to Baccarat. But the point is, as I was trying to say, and I'm sort of like a little bit hyped up here because even though I've been doing this a very long time, that doesn't mean to say I'm not affected when things don't go the way that I know they should. And eventually, of course, we've turned around, but it was bloody hard work. We had, I think, about 60,000, so we made about 20,000 in about half an hour, which is not too terrible, but boy, did we have to risk a lot. And, it's up to you really to decide, whether this is worth your time. All I'm saying to you is if you are prepared to go up against any of these games with an inadequate bankroll, then you will probably lose. And I think, to be honest with you, you deserve it. So that's it for now. All right, so this is part 3 of the session from hell. I mean, good God, dreadful. And in fact, our marker, our deficit at Baccarat is not as bad as I thought. It's 56,000. So we made 24,000 in the end with a profit of 80,000 at Blackjack. Less than it should have been because of the fact that I ran up against the 100,000 limit. But I was kind of torn there because on the one hand, I didn't want to say, okay, well, that's it and walk away from it as a loser, because that sort of really upsets the apple cart, doesn't it? So I thought, okay, well, if all I can do is go to 100,000, which is so rare. I mean, it is so bloody rare. It's happened not very often. in the last well, since I started doing this thing, at least on YouTube. Doing these screen recordings and then posting everything on YouTube. It's just it's like talking about hen's teeth, but it's the kind of thing that all the experts say bound to happen one day, and sure enough. I won't know until I've done the Excel update and everything, been through everything. I won't know exactly where we stand, but it looks to me like 80,000 less 56,000 is a 24,000 profit in about half an hour or so. So, phew, is all I can say about that. But boy, pattern betting will look after you so long as you can look after it. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, it's like I've been saying for the longest time. If you go to war, I don't know, in bloody sneakers and a bloody baseball cap, and expect to beat the Russians and their tanks and bazookas and bloody drones and all the rest of it, then good luck. But you're going to be going home in a body bag, And that's how it is with the casinos, because you look in any of their dealer trays and you see all the bloody money that's in there. And that's what you're up against. It's not the game. It's not the piddly percentage that is known to be the house edge of the game. It's the volatility that kills you. It's the variance that will kill you. And if you're not equipped to deal with it, then you are toast. So, see you in a bit. Okay then, so here we are looking at yesterday's Baccarat session. As you can see, horrible. 55,400 down. We jumped over to, I hope you were with me for yesterday's demo, but we hopped over to blackjack and, as usual, cleaned up at blackjack after a lot of work and having to deal with the fact that we couldn't go higher than the 100,000. See, and this is where I get into trouble with sims, because in the real world, I wouldn't have to swallow the casino's table limit. I would simply go somewhere else that has a higher table limit or a more doable house limit, one that enables me to turn around. So I was handicapped there. But because I'm stuck with this way of doing things, and it's my fault, nobody else's, I chose these two sims and I'm going to stick with them as long as it takes. But because I was stuck at 100,000, I had to keep going at 100,000 until finally we turned around. So that the result there was, and as you can see, by the way, 1932. Let's assume out of that 4 ties, that's just a guess because it doesn't tell you how many ties, but we've got a difference here of 13 in 45. So that is just, that's a house edge of 30 something, certainly the high 20%. So that was really shitty. But we have to be able to cope with shitty. That's just how it has to be. So, and I haven't written in what occurred, which was, I think, the final win. I'm surprised at that. I thought I'd done it. My bad. I'll do it right now. All right, so that was the final outcome. So we had a blackjack win of 80,000 after a lot of struggling. So we had 56,000 to take off that, which is what, 24. So we ended up 24,600 ahead because there's this shoe here which had a tiny weeny win. But it was horrible, and it's what we have to live with. It's how it is. The main thing is pattern betting came through, but God, was it hard work. Boy. Okay, I'm going to play probably one shoe now and hope I don't get into too much trouble. It's just that I like to get back on the horse to convince myself, and you too, that The regular pattern is for pretty much, sort of ping pong. I mean, it's sort of like ping, ping, pong, 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 ping, pong, ping, pong, ping. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, minimum on player, obviously. Double for the loss. Double for the tie. That would be 2-3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Minimum. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Seven, 8. I think this is going to be a runaway already. Just look at this. We're nearly there. Well, maybe not. All right, back to the men. +1. 51. Repeat. Minimum. +1. 51. And every so often I'm still getting people saying to me, can you explain your strategy and can you explain why you jumped to banker? Or back again, why you hop? I feel like going completely round the bend. But I'm not gonna. That's got to be, what is it, 5-6? Yeah, it's got to be 5-6. Yeah, it's 5-6. Oh, goody. Let's solve that. Double for that. No, +1 is what I meant to say. All right, now 51. Now 2, 3. Minimum. And plus max. Do that again. We only got one of those, so repeat it. That's 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All is forgiven. +1. Double for the tie. Plus max, so we drop back a bit. Do that again. That would be 3, 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's coming through just at the right minute, isn't it, right now? Wouldn't that be nice if that continued? '51. Repeat. 1, 2. Thank you. Minimum. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. Repeat. 1, 2. Try again. 3, 4. Oh dear. 7, 8. There it is. Minimum. 1, 2. 3, 4. 7, 8. 15-8. I think we need to hop to the banker here because it's a pretty even shoe. So 15-8, 7-9 to cover the commission. Very important that you don't leave that as a separate bet. 7-9. And there we go. Now we're on the banker. That's 2-3. 5-3 coming to player. 2-3. 5-6. Uh-oh. 11-12. That's haven't done one of those for a while. Okay. So that's going to be, we're going to run away from this. That's going to be 3-4 in thousands on player. Bummer. I was having such fun there for a while. Can't be another blackjack thing, surely. Well, will you look at that? Okay, so we'll go to 20 here if it lets us. Minimum. +1. +1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minimum. Double for the loss. Repeat. Minimum. Double for the loss. Yeah, you know, I mean, to have people saying to me, well, exactly what is the strategy and when do you do such and such? And there's all these demos. I mean, there's bloody hundreds of them now. It's just, what can I do? Nothing, nothing, nothing. 1, 2. 3, 4. Don't like this. 7, 8. 15-8, and we're running over to the bank. Hey! 5-6. Well, we sorted that out then, didn't we? 5-6, back to minimum on the bank. +1. Last one. There's another one. One, 2. Let's hope for a turnaround, all right? Okay, 3-5. Last bet on the bank. There it is. All right, so we're out with a session balance of 5-3, 5-7. We had 11 wins, 11 losses, shoe balance 5-1, 6-7. I just can't believe that there are people out there who don't understand how easy it is and how important it is to win more when you win and you lose when you lose. But I've been saying this for so many years. I mean, like it's going all the way back to 96. You know, so it's nearly 30 years, and people just resist it. I think it's because of this incredible brainwashing. And, you know, I mean, I have people close to me in my family who will say, well, don't be ridiculous. If those games could be beaten, there wouldn't be any games. And they say exactly the same thing about the horse racing project, which is very similar to this in its general approach. You know, it's a little more complicated, obviously. But then the payoffs are higher than even money, even on favourites. But, yeah, that's how it is. You know, people are so completely taken in that they just assume that it is not possible Oh dear, I just booed. I didn't save that one, did I? Bummer. Okay. It's a good thing this is friendly, this thing. It just saves it for you on the previous tab. All right, so let's try that again. Honestly, what a screw up. All right, so first one. 28 to 33, so we got our asses kicked here. Yeah, we came out with at least with a little bit. But yeah, 28 over 6.9 and 33 over 6.7. So we managed the average win value being higher than the average loss value, but it didn't help us much because of the number of bets we were behind the regulation 5. So next one here, the last one, the turnaround shoe, that was 11.11, wasn't it? Yeah, 11.11. So 11 into 80/40 and 11 into 2900. So that's an obvious success. So we did well. We did well. And I've just got to tidy these two entries up here. And I'll be gone again. Okay, so we took a beating at Baccarat yesterday. We recovered with a profit of 80,000. So that obviously covers this here. It's wonderful stuff, this, and it really does work, but it can't be done without a big bankroll. And, I try all kinds of things to kind of explain the picture, basically. I very often say to you folks, when you sit down at one of these tables, look across at the dealer's tray and at the amount of money that's in there. And then imagine that's their firepower. That's the big gun pointing at you. And Alexa, stop. And if you're going to go into belly up to one of these games and try and beat that big gun, get past that big gun with a little tiny pea shooter, then you're probably not going to get away with it. You might be like David and Goliath and just get a lucky shot, but your chances are very, very slim indeed. And what was that thing that Jimmy Kibble put up yesterday that made me smile? I've got to get that in the picture here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I can put it up on the edit, can't I? It's just Dana White being appointed by Trump to be some highfalutin something or other, but no stupider, no dumber than Hegseth and Noam and all the other sort of like lightweights, nobodies that Trump has pulled into his cabinet and into his aegis, because they are so bloody useless that they make him look not good, but less worse. How's that? Anyway, I'm not allowed to talk about Trump on here, am I? So sorry. It's illegal. I'm never going to be allowed back in the country, not as long as those lunatics are in power, that's for sure. Trump and his enablers. Bye-bye, America. Damn. It's all I can say. We went through the bloody ringer just recently. It's well, if you stuck with me for the video, you'll see how it went. And of course, Blackjack rescued us in the end, but I'll go into more detail about that in a minute. So what we had here is we had a crap 2074, shoe number 2074, but we came out with a win percentage of 8.8 against a house advantage against us of 17%. So yippee, except that then we went into God. Talk about the firing line. We had 3 consecutive losses, and I just said to hell with that. I should probably have stayed with it. That might have saved me a lot of grief, but I didn't. So let's go down to the next shoe, which was 2076, 2 losses, 45,000, at which point I had to run to blackjack because I hit the bet limit, the max. So I had no choice and was happy to do it anyway because I was getting my ass kicked left and right, as you will have seen. So off I went at this point, being, let's see, what is it? It's 11,000 down there, 45,000, so that's 56,000, less the 600 that we won on the first shoe, whoop-de-doo. So at that point, down I went to blackjack, and I fortunately, as I'm saying, you'll only really know about this if you stuck with me through the video, through the demo, but I did my sums right. We ended up winning 355,000 here. That 455,000 obviously has to have the 100,000 startup, the marker, deducted. So it's a profit of 355,000. And at that point, we were down 375,000. We lost 100K, then another 100K. And in the first time that we had to run away, we had 25K left in the kitty when we dumped the shoe. So that's 200. Sorry, have I counted it? No, that's right. No, 375,000 comes off this. So that gives us an 80,000 profit, which is marked down here. And you can see how it worked. And then, of course, the last 2 shoes went a whole lot better. 195, 167. Good stuff. Good. Just going to break off for a minute because I had something come up on the phone, which looks like it's urgent. Well, it turned out the message on the phone was not important, but it was bloody annoying. I managed to get myself into a bit of an argument with somebody who claims that Ukraine is not worth fighting for. We should all just leave them to get on with it, and the world would be unaffected by the destruction of Ukraine and the takeover by Putin, which is about as much nonsense as I can stand for one day. But this is modern America, I mean, it's just how it is. People are not thinkers in today's America, and it's largely because of the shit education system that they have over there, which is entirely pointed towards making lots and lots of money when people go to college and have to be taught what they weren't taught in high school and should have been. But there we go. That's a whole other story, isn't it? Anyway, yes, what I was saying was we ended up recovering all this crap at blackjack. What happened there, it's not worth breaking it down in detail because there were only, 13 bets, 6 of them winners, 7 of them losers. So we should have had our asses kicked there if we were betting the way that most of these professional losers on YouTube do. So what happened there was we beat a 1/13th house advantage, which is about, what's that? It's about 6%, isn't it? So 6% edge against us, and we came out with a profit of 80,000. And that's the name of the whole game. That's the name of the strategy. And it's like I always say, please, people, take it or leave it. I mean, it's up to you. But if you play the way the losers do, the professional losers do, then you're gonna end up broke, just as they are, in spite of their claims to the contrary, in spite of Dana White saying that he wins tens of millions and that he's allowed to bet 400,000 a hand at Bellagio and 350,000 a hand at Caesars. That guy is not a winner. He makes a ton of money from arranging for young men to beat each other's brains out, or at least cause them permanent damage. And it's just interesting about him that he says quite openly that he was a contender when he was a kid, but then he decided that fighting was a bad idea because it caused brain damage. So, better to make a fortune causing brain damage in other people than to suffer it in himself. And that's kind of an interesting approach to life, isn't it? I mean, it's sort of like it paints a picture of somebody who is a close buddy of the current president of the USA, to the point where the president is now talking about having a UFC event, a fight, on the White House premises, in the White House, whatever it's called, campus, precinct, grounds, you know, and apparently Trump wanted to put in a whole new stadium kind of thing that could hold at least 20,000 people, because currently, if they set up bleachers in the White House grounds, there's only room for 2,000. He doesn't like that. And presumably Dana White doesn't either, because he gets a share of the ticket money. So whatever. But, you know, Ukraine isn't worth fighting for, and apparently neither is America. That's how it is. So let's have a look. Because of that load of shite that came at us the last time, we're now looking at a Baccarat edge against us of 2%. Which indicates, given this action here, a result of minus 69,200, or is that one on whatever? 100. Doesn't matter, is it? 69 bloody thousand, that's it. Instead, we're 355,000 ahead, plus the 80,000 that we won running away to blackjack to try to get out of trouble. But overall, of course, we had. This is where the shit hit the fan. We overall had a 24.5% edge against us. That's right there, which indicated a loss of 15,400, and we made that much worse. We lost 55,400 before going off to blackjack to win it all back and to make. What was it, 24,600 in the end, a profit on the session, which lasted about 25 minutes, something like that. So, you know, that's basically how it is. And you can only, look at this stuff and make your own decision about whether you believe it or not. I mean, look at that trajectory. It's a word I struggle with for some reason, trajectory. That line. Which is pretty bloody healthy. What is it? It's not 45 degrees, but it's certainly over 30 degrees heading up this way. And so you got to like that. And we started out down here at minus 5275, which is our 1905. We lost the first one, and then bang, 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 bang. And we've done very nicely, thank you very much. But yeah, that's the story, folks. And I'll just go to the top just to see what we're looking at up here. 103 negative AVs, mostly gags. We had 89 gags, 53 negative shoe results. So some of the gags were obviously, declining winnings on a shoe, but we didn't actually have negative. We had 122 positive shoes, which is 230%. Because of that big loss that we just suffered, we've now got an average winning shoe value there, slightly less than the average here. It's full, but it's 96%. That'll even out again, because I'm just going to carry on doing this because hell, why not? It's all truth, it's all accuracy, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's that simple, really, isn't it? So there you have it. Next time. Oh yeah, something I should have made clear before, just in case you've never tried the blackjack sim that's presented by Mike Shackelford, the Wizard of Odds. It is not possible to collect 455,000 in your chip stack unless you win that money, because what happens is the sim will give you up to 100K. Okay. but you can't add after that. You can't sort of say, "Oh, I'm just going to go and get another 100k," sort of like Mr. Handpay style, where you lose 50 grand and you just dig in your little rucksack and pull out. Oh, that's great. That's a crossword clue answered. Rucksack. Yes, 8 letters for backpack. Yeah. You can't add money on top of the 100k unless you win it. That's all I'm trying to say to you. So, it's important to keep that in mind. This is a genuine, amount which was won. So I won 355,000 on top of the 100k that the Wiz gave me when I started this particular shoe on the sim. So anyway, back to where we were before, and next time.